People who slept with a coworker, what happened after? Fun. Highly recommend if you have a job. Do not recommend if you have a career. I had a supervisor that I really hit it off with and had great chemistry. As soon as they found out we were dating, she got fired and immediately found a better job. We've been married for almost 13 years now. She had to fire me. Poor performance. Slept with her, year later she went missing and is presumed dead. Been about 8-9 years now. Dated discreetly and after 4 years we got engaged. We then both told our supervisors we were leaving in summer. At our last meeting, as they were doing their goodbye lunch for both of us with about 30 co-workers, they had us say a few words. I went first and said I was moving to a new city. Then it was my fiancée's turn and she said she was also moving to that city, with me, because we're engaged. It was glorious. We are happily married for 13 years and have an awesome daughter. Life is good. We were both working as actors in a small film, cast as romantic leads. She noticed I got tense when we had to kiss. I was fighting for control of my boner because she had real big boobs and suggested we go on a date to practice kissing. We played minigolf and practiced kissing. Then we continued practicing in her car in the parking lot after the minigolf place closed until a cop came to investigate. Then we got a hotel room and practiced other stuff. I guess I'm a slow learner because she's still giving me remedial lessons. I slept with my boss back in '93. She instigated it. She's sitting beside me. 30 years later and 2 adult kids. Worked out. Edit, I should add we did not care for each other at first. It was definitely not a case of will they, won't they, but more of a will he quit or won't he. Funny how life works. We moved in together, got engaged, bought a house and had a baby. Don't let a job get in the way of your life. We did it a couple of times, then both went on with our lives. It was just something we both wanted to do temporarily. Neither one of us wanted it to be serious or long-term, and so it wasn't. Fun while it lasted, but very awkward after. Well, we're not co-workers anymore, but we got married 3 days ago and I couldn't be happier, so I'd say good stuff happened. We are married with 2 smart-ass ginger teenage daughters. Aside from constant fear of sunburn, it isn't too bad. It was fun, but they wrecked my soul. We got married. That was 43 years ago. We became friends and she donated a kidney to me, lol. He told all our co-workers. We wiped down the table and went home. We told management and they made sure that we didn't work together to avoid any conflicts of interest. Most big companies have policies in place for this kind of thing. The more people employed by the workplace, the more common it is. We're all human and we all want some fuck. She would hate me at work but always call me 2-3 times a week when she got drunk and wanted some LOLIDK if I was good or just convenient, but we both knew it was only fun with no ties, so it worked out when she got married a couple years later. We've been sleeping together for over a year. He's at a different job now. Honestly, was super fun. Shared secret looks when we passed by each other. Sneaky texts about how hard it is to not jump each other's bones every time we passed. Good times. Ended up we had another. I've seen it go wrong for others many times, but it somehow worked out for us. I was looking for a sign to not ask my coworker out and all these comments really screwed that up. Got married 2 years later. Co-worker can mean different things and different circumstances. For instance, our company had 130,000 employees worldwide. Our group was housed in a building with 1,000 employees. We were not in each other's chain of command. It could have been somewhat awkward if it did not work out, but not awful. It did work out. Later on, saved money by carpooling. We live together now, so nothing bad. We were adults about it, agreed it was fun and a one-time thing and moved on. It was great at first. She wanted to go back to school and ended up applying for school out of state and got accepted. I was willing to try and make it work, but she broke it off immediately, and immediately started fucking one of my best friends at the time. They hid it from me and our other friends, but he eventually told everyone he had been driving up to her college. She eventually flunked out cause she partied too much and came back to the job. I left not too long after, but the two of them started officially dating around the same time, so I still had to see her often. If and when it goes bad, it goes very bad. Did it many times in restaurants and a handful of times in professional offices. Married one of them. No particularly bad experiences with the rest. I'm Facebook friends with at least 3. He just got out of bed to take our dog on a walk, and I'm about to get up and get our 2 daughters dressed before we have breakfast downstairs together, faced with tears of joy. This happened 6-ish years ago. We are now engaged as of a month ago. Whoop whoop. I slept with several and nothing happened, don't believe the hype. The last one is my partner now for 5 years and we have 2 kids. How do you guys have the nerve to even ask a co-worker out? Or to hook up? Her husband decided he was gonna try to run me off the road by following me home one night and pulling the old pit maneuver. Thank God for guardrails and the engineers at Toyota. You guys rock. Nothing really, it was fun in the moment, but we just got in with our jobs and didn't mention it until it happened again, and again. We are married now, with a baby on the way. We got married and have 2 children. While it is generally not recommended, it does work out every now and then. We got married. This thread turned out to be way more positive than I was expecting. She made me breakfast. Trending toward being my wife, so I'd say it's going great. Happiest 5 years of my life. She left 2 weeks ago. Got cold feet when I started to talk about marriage and said she needed time alone because she felt like she depended on me for everything. I hope she comes back. My heart hurts. I married her. I found another job and she's now my wife. Worked out pretty well. We've been dating for 2 years now, probably getting married sometime next year. I can tell you, at my workplace it resulted in a rash of herpes being spread. Rolling on the floor laughing, some people even had to have an awkward conversation with their spouse. I ended up dating her, and we're still together 23 years later. I used to work on a cruise ship. That's all I have to say. Currently married with 2 kids. Don't do it. Got married, been together for 11 years. Not so bad. We kept sleeping together. I slept with her again. And again. And again. A few more times after that, too. Then, she told me she was married to a guy. Then, I shrugged, and we just kind of kept doing it over the next few months, until she just mysteriously disappeared. No call, no show at work. My boss mailed her last paycheck out, and it was eventually cashed, so I'm guessing she wasn't dead, at least. It was a FWB situation. We both rebounded with each other after breakups, and just as soon as it began, it ended mutually. We both knew what it was and there wasn't too much that was awkward with it afterwards. We don't talk anymore, but we still like each other's stories on Instagram, lol. Slept with several coworkers, loved it. It was fun as hell. The rest of my life.